Dear Waiting Moms, welcome to another episode of Becoming Moms podcast. My name is Dr. Tien. I'm a pharmacist and a fertility coach, and I'm your host. After almost 2 years of my own trying to conceive journey with irregular cycles and insulin resistance, I can understand how challenging and lonely it is to be on this journey. And at the beginning of 2022, I was able to regulate my cycles and fall pregnant naturally, as well as improve my insulin resistance by lowering my A1C down to a normal range after only 6 weeks. I am now on a mission to help all of you waiting moms find a better, more balanced way to optimize your hormones and your body in order to increase your chances of conceiving without feeling like you have to be on any restrictive diet or crazy amount of medication or supplements. I know I don't want to do that, so I don't want you to have to go through that either. Okay, so let's get in today's episode. We're talking about hormonal birth control in today's episode, and why I really think women should not be prescribed these medication. Honestly, especially if you have PCOS or other hormone related metabolic syndrome like me. And I really wish that I didn't start birth control 20 years ago, or be on it for 10 years plus. I really feel like it definitely made an impact in my hormones and my relationship in general. So we're going to get a little bit kind of personal today with a few of the side effects that I've experienced throughout the years using hormonal birth controls. And I say hormonal because not all form of birth control contain hormones. So we're specifically just talking about the ones with like estrogens and progesterone, and the medication that actually changes your natural body's hormone to inhibit ovulation. So let's talk a little bit about that, right? So hormonal birth controls are things like the pill, patch, vaginal ring that contain hormones, and they contain estrogen and progestin hormones, which are there to inhibit your body's normal natural hormones that's already there, basically to prevent pregnancy, right? That's why we're on these medication. And they have different mechanism. In general, they just stop your body from ovulation, and that's help with preventing pregnancy. Because in previous episodes, where we're talking about helping you get pregnant, and in order for that to happen, you need to ovulate, which means releasing an egg from your ovaries. And we also talked about how it needs to be a mature egg, right? Okay. So with that said, I don't believe that these medication are beneficial for us in helping you. I mean, it does help. It does do the job of preventing pregnancy, but sometimes really, really young girls will be offered birth controls to regulate their period. So if you have these symptoms and you actually, in your younger adult teenage years, or if you know somebody, or if you think about your own um, teenage years and that was happening and your doctor were recommending birth controls, that's one of the reasons why they're also prescribing these medication, is to regulate your period. So when I was 12, 13, that's when I started my period, and I didn't have another one for probably a year later, or maybe 6 months. I can't remember. But I just knew it was weird because I thought, right, everybody would get their period every month. That's what everybody talks about. And my mom has regular cycle, and my sister did too. So I thought it was a little strange. But then I was young and not very bright. And I was like, oh, I don't have to deal with having my period every month. That's kind of nice. There's a bunch of other stuff I have to worry about back in the day, mainly school, right? But yeah, so I didn't really think much about it. Didn't really talk to my mom or my doctor. I was just kind of like, well, it's probably a good thing that I don't have my period every month. I mean, naturally, I thought it was strange, but I didn't really do much about it. And now I'm paying the price pretty much. So if this is you and you're still ways from trying to get pregnant and you've been prescribed hormonal birth control as a way to regulate your cycle, I urge you to stop and actually figure out what's going on with your own body. And that's what I should have done. That's what I should have talked to. Well, actually, most doctors just give you birth control, but someone else who knows about this and really work on balancing your hormones naturally, right? Because besides from the fact that it's not helping your regulating your hormone, like not really treating the cause or the actual root of these of your condition of your PCOS and your hormonal imbalances, it also comes with a lot of side effects. And I didn't even know these were side effects of my birth control until I had gone off of it and my body finally regained balance after so many years being on birth control, that I realized, oh, that was the birth control side effect. So let's talk about that. Hello, hello. It's Dr. Pramlab here, interrupting your episode to let you know that I actually have a full training on how to regulate your cycle to increase your pregnancy chance in less than 6 months. So, this is a free training that I have created for you all to really focus on what you can do daily to help you improve your ovulation and insulin resistance if you have it. It actually will provide you with a no fear strategy to help you transform your relationship with your PCOS symptoms without any restrictive diet. A lot of the time I hear that P- patient with PCOS can feel super tired and have no energy, or insomnia, things like that. All of that really are based on your hormone imbalances, and we're going to go over that to figure out what hormone triggers you have in order for you to work with your body, and not have to be on a restrictive diet. You're also actually going to get a step-by-step guide to regulate your ovulation and cycles. I know with PCOS, a lot of the time you do have an irregular cycle. I know for me, I would only get one cycle every 6 months. So even when I was trying to conceive, I wasn't ovulating. So I wasn't even trying at all, really. And I went from only having 2 cycles per year to actually having 6 to 8 cycles per year, which is pretty good for me. And we're going to go over exactly how I did that. And finally, we're going to touch on key changes that you can make so you can optimize your body and your hormones without having to take a ton of medication or supplements. I didn't take any medication or supplements while I was trying to conceive because I just felt like nutrition was a better and more natural way of doing things. And it really helped me a lot. And I know it can help you too. So maybe you are just starting out on your trying to conceive journey and you're just a bit confused on what exactly you need to do. Or if you've been on this journey for a while and you've tried everything under the sun just to get that big fat positive pregnancy test, but no matter what you do, you're not getting the result that you want, right? And actually, no matter where you are on your trying to conceive journey, right? All you want to do is to meet your baby and to have that family that you've always dreamed of. So, if you want to achieve this dream, you want to make this dream a reality, and you want access to this free training that I have for you, all you have to do is go to drpromlabwellnesscorner.com/free-training and go ahead and watch this amazing free training and let me know if you found this helpful at all for you. I like to know if I can make it even better for you in the future, or if you found that it was helpful now, let me know what you liked about it. And you can always just send me a message on social at Dr. Promlat Wellness Corner. Okay, well, let's get back into today's episode. So the common side effects that people would talk about, like breast tenderness and changes of mood, acne, headaches. So those are the common side effects that a lot of time when you go to the pharmacy and you are prescribed birth control, pharmacists would go over these with you. But there's certain side effects that are not mentioned. For me, I was actually experiencing a lot of vaginal dryness and I didn't know why, because I was having a lot of pain during sex and I didn't understand what was going on, and this didn't happen before. And I actually have been on birth control for a while, but I guess maybe I've switched a brand or a generic, because when you get these filled at the pharmacy, a lot of time they will change manufacturers on you, because this is a little inside secret. They don't just change it because they want to. Most of the time the pharmacy has a contract with a supplier, and the supplier has a contract with the manufacturer, so whoever gets the best deals would be the one providing you the medication. So with that said, every so often, if the pharmacy get a better deal with someone else, you'll get your medication switched to a different brand or different manufacturers, right? They're still the same medication, it's just from different company. So maybe one of those switches caused my vaginal dryness and I didn't really notice or realize. I just thought my body was just dried up because I was old, but I wasn't even old. So, but I was in graduate school, I was in pharmacy school. Really should have looked more into that, pharmacy school. But it's just so focused on passing my classes and not failing is a lot. Pharmacy school is not fun. But anyways, so that's one of the side effects that I was experiencing. I didn't know until I got off of birth control and everything went back to normal. Yay! Okay, so another side effects that is more serious and uncommon, but I do feel like it's worth the mention because not a lot of people will say anything about this. But estrogens in combination with hormonal birth control method can increase risk of blood clot. So we have to be worried about that. And that really increases risk if you are over 35 and you are a smoker. So that has a higher risk of blood clotting, but that's something is the side effects of birth control, hormonal birth control, right? So I want to mention that as well in this episode so that you are aware, besides from just the common ones that you hear about, right? Let's go over that. There's acne, tender of breast, changes in mood, headaches. Actually, it's a funny thing because for me, my acne cleared up after using hormonal birth control. So I thought it was a good thing, and I didn't really think about the vaginal dryness as also a side effect. So you kind of get something and then you lose something. For me, another thing I lost was basically sex drive was another thing, and being in your 20s and you don't have a lot of sex drive, that can raises a lot of problem. And I didn't think about that either. I just thought, oh, maybe I'm just not into this thing like everyone else is. So another thing why I don't think, inhibiting your own natural hormones is a good thing. It did help prevent pregnancy for all those years, right? And it cleared up my acne because actually, after getting off of birth control, my acne came back. And that was not fun being in your 30s with like hormonal acne. So, but actually, I don't have any more hormonal acne because after I took care of my body and regulated my cycle naturally, everything went away. I don't have any acne. And a lot of that takes work, right? So figuring out what your hormone triggers are really, really helped. But let's get back into birth control a little bit. I wanted to also go over the the birth control. It can help, right? So we talked about that, but how you really regulate your own hormones and find ways of balancing that is really the answer to all of the PCOS and other metabolic syndrome problems and your conditions. So a lot of women I talk to with these conditions right now, they're looking for ways to regulate their cycle. Most of the time, naturally is hard, and that's the way that I prefer it for myself. I don't know about you, but after 10 years of being on birth control and suffering all of the side effects, I kind of want to be done, right, with that. And so, working with your own body and figuring out your hormone triggers, most of those will come from what you're eating. Your diet plays a huge role in regulating your hormones naturally. So, that is a big deal. A lot of time we don't think about what we're eating. Life's busy, school's busy, work is busy. You find easy and fast way to feed your body, right? I was that person a couple years ago until I was trying to conceive and it was taking longer than expected, over 2 years for me. I know a lot of other women have been on this journey for a while now, way longer than 2 years. I've had friends with maybe 4 years now, they're still trying. I had other friends over 6 years, and women I talk to on social media, some have tried for 10 years plus, right? So my 2 years doesn't feel like a long time compared to all those other women's journey, but for me, it was long at the time, and I couldn't do nothing anymore. So, taking a look at what I was eating was the first step of figuring out what was going on and how to really heal. I really like this perspective of healing your bodies from the birth control pills, really, and healing your body from your current imbalanced ways of PCOS. So nothing is really your fault, right? So I'm not saying that you did anything wrong. Most of us were given these medication because we trust our doctors, right? We trust the healthcare professional that were provided to us, and they were supposed to take care of us and take care of our condition and really preventing any kind of mishap or any kind of bad things that was supposed to happen. Like we paid our insurance to pay these professionals so they could fix us, right? So none of us really thought about, oh my gosh, maybe what my doctor is prescribing me could be kind of harmful to me without them really thinking about it, without you really knowing. So nothing is your fault. And actually, having this condition is not your fault either. A lot of time I used to work with patient with diabetes, they are often told to think of themselves causing diabetes. But and I was having this argument with my husband too the other day. He's also a pharmacist. He works in a hospital environment, so his patient population is a little bit different than mine, right? But yeah, I don't think any of this condition is your fault. And maybe what you could have done might have made a difference, but the thing that you did weren't really up to you at the time, maybe. And it was given to you by people that you trust, or recommended to you by people that were supposed to take care of you, right? So I'm not saying that anything you're doing or did was wrong, and we can't change what we did yesterday, but we can learn and implement new things for the future, right? So that's all we can do, really. So that's why this episode is here. I wanted to present to you a perspective on hormonal birth control that you might not have thought of before. And maybe we can learn together and start making progress towards actually healing your body instead of just feeding it chemicals, because what pills are just chemicals. um Sometimes, well, actually most of the time, to be honest, being a pharmacist really helped me understand a lot more, and that's why I want to tell you more of these perspective and understanding so you can actually make a difference in your own life. And of course, if you want to continue with what I'm saying and go even deeper on what exactly I'm recommending and what you can do to heal your body, definitely give me a chat. I have many ways that you can reach me, right? So that's that's only if you are really serious about really healing your body from PCOS and maybe all the birth control pills that you've taken over the years. And if you really know somebody who are younger, maybe you have a cousin or friends of a friend who's maybe experiencing similar symptoms and just being prescribed birth control as a solution, you can recommend a different perspective, right? You don't have a lot of time when you tell people, hey, I don't think what you're doing is right, can be a little difficult for them to receive it if they're not open to it, or if they're not really wanting to hear, like, if you don't want my help, there's no way I can help you. So if you want to bring these topic up, it's very sensitive most of the time. So you can recommend this episode if you like, right? Or you can go about it in a different manner so that nobody's feeling defensive, and maybe just telling them, hey, I know something that might help you. If you want help, let me know, right? So things like that, to make sure that you are offering your help in the correct way so that the person who needs it will receive it properly. And if you want help for yourself, probably that's why you're here listening to this episode and listening to this podcast. I offer many ways that can be helpful. I have free trainings inside my free Facebook group. That's one of the sources that a lot of women do take advantage of, right? And then these podcasts, of course, going over the topic a little bit deeper. And I also have other ways that you can reach me. There's email, there's social media, hit me up on the DM. If you have any question, I will definitely, reach out and answer you. So there are many ways if you do want to get help, you can receive help, right? And I'm here for you. My door is always open. I want to help as many waiting mom become a mom as possible. And I want you to reach that new chapter of your life, being pregnant, being a mom, and being the best person you can for this new baby that you're going to bring into life, healing from your condition, balancing your hormones. That's my goal for this podcast, this episode, and all of the things that I'm doing. And I hope you found this helpful. And hopefully, I will see you soon or talk to you in the DMs. Well, that's all for today's episode of Becoming Moms. I hope you really enjoyed it and you found it helpful. And if you resonate with everything that I talked about today and you feel like you want to learn more, you want to learn how to truly create sustainable changes that will ensure that you will be able to effortlessly fall pregnant and find freedom from dieting, freedom from killing yourself over at the gyms days in and days out, freedom from all those medication and supplements that you're currently on, so you can stop worrying about your future and stop worrying about if you ever become a mom and start enjoying your baby making journey again. Start living your dream as your reality, right? That probably is just going to have the family that you've always wanted instead of constantly living fear and feel stuck on your trying to conceive journey. Then I really invite you to connect with me. I want to get to know you better and I want to show you how I can make all of that happen for you, right? We'll actually chat for 45 whole minutes where we'll hash out a strategic plan to help you see that regulating your cycles and ovulation isn't all that impossible anymore. But I'll only want you to reach out if you feel like you are 110% committed to your health and that you are ready to take massive action to make it happen, okay? Because we can both talk and talk until we're both blue in the face, but if you are not willing to invest in your health, not willing to invest in yourself, then nothing we can say can really change anything, right? So if you really think that is you and you are ready to see where your powerful self can really take you, then all you gotta do is go to drpromlatwellnesscorner.com/apply and book a free roadmap call with me. I am committed to you and your health, and I will work with you until you are successful. During the session, we will evaluate where your strengths are and what's currently working for you, and then we'll take a look at what we can improve upon, as well as mapping out a plan for you to get there. And then if you are a really good fit, I'll actually offer you a spot in my Becoming Moms community where we will work further with you on how to create a more sustainable and less restrictive way so you can actually optimize your hormones in your body to increase your chances of conceiving without having to think about if you'll ovulate this month at all. Also, make sure to fill out the little short survey attached to our call before the session. So I have a bit of a background on you to better prepare and plan for our session to make sure that you will get the most out of your time with me. Okay, well, I can't wait to speak with you soon. Until then, sending you lots of baby dust.